BX cable, also known as armored cable, can indeed be plenum rated. This means that specific types of BX cable are manufactured with materials suitable for installation in plenum spaces. Plenum spaces are defined as areas used for air circulation in buildings, such as the space above suspended ceilings or under raised floors. In these areas, it is crucial to use materials that are fire resistant and produce minimal smoke in the event of a fire to prevent the rapid spread of flames and toxic fumes throughout the building. Plenum-rated BX cable has a specially designed jacket that meets stringent fire safety standards. This jacket is typically made from a low-smoke, low-flame spread material, often a type of fluoropolymer or other advanced plastic compound. The purpose of this special jacket is twofold. Firstly, to limit the amount of smoke generated if the cable is exposed to fire, thereby improving visibility for building occupants during evacuation, and secondly, to inhibit the spread of flames along the cable, helping to contain the fire and prevent it from quickly spreading to other areas of the building. When selecting BX cable for installation in a plenum space, it is essential to verify that the cable is explicitly labeled as plenum rated. This rating is usually indicated by markings on the cable jacket such as CMP, which stands for Communications Plenum Cable, or another similar designation. These markings signify that the cable has been tested and certified to meet the requirements of relevant safety standards, such as those set by Underwriters Laboratories UL or other recognized testing laboratories. Installing non-plenum rated cable in plenum spaces can be a violation of building codes and can pose a significant fire safety hazard. Non-plenum rated cables typically have jackets made from materials that produce more smoke and can contribute to the rapid spread of flames. In the event of a fire, this can create a dangerous environment for building occupants and can hinder firefighting efforts. The National Electrical Code (NEC) provides specific guidelines for the installation of electrical cables in plenum spaces. Article 300.22 C of the NEC addresses wiring in ducts, plenums, and other air handling spaces. It specifies that only wiring methods suitable for the use, such as plenum-rated cables or metal conduit with appropriate wiring, are permitted in these areas. It is important to consult the latest edition of the NEC in local building codes to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. When installing plenum-rated BX cable, it is essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions and all applicable electrical codes. Proper installation practices can help to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Some key considerations for installing BX cable in plenum spaces include using appropriate supports and fasteners to secure the cable, avoiding sharp bends or kinks that could damage the cable jacket, and ensuring that the cable is properly grounded. Furthermore, it is crucial to avoid damaging the plenum-rated jacket during installation, as this could compromise its fire-resistant properties. If the jacket is damaged, the cable should be replaced to maintain the integrity of the fire safety system. In addition to fire safety, plenum-rated BX cable can also offer other benefits, such as improved resistance to chemicals and environmental factors. This can be particularly important in certain plenum spaces where the cable may be exposed to potentially corrosive substances or extreme temperatures. By selecting a plenum-rated cable with appropriate environmental resistance, it is possible to extend the lifespan of the cable and reduce the risk of failures. It's crucial to understand the different types of BX cable available. BX cable generally consists of insulated conductors wrapped in a flexible metal covering. The metal covering provides physical protection to the conductors and also serves as a grounding path. However, not all BX cable is created equal, especially when it comes to plenum applications. The key difference lies in the jacket material. Standard BX cable often uses a polyvinyl chloride PVC jacket, which is not suitable for plenum spaces due to its smoke and flame characteristics. Plenum-rated BX cable, on the other hand, utilizes a low-smoke, low-flame spread jacket material. These materials are specifically designed to minimize the amount of smoke produced during a fire and to slow down the spread of flames. Common materials used for plenum-rated jackets include fluoropolymers, such as polytetrafluoroethylene PTFE and fluorinated ethylene propylene FEP. These materials are known for their excellent fire resistance and low smoke generation properties. When selecting Plenum-rated BX cable, it's essential to consider the specific requirements of the application. Factors to consider include the ambient temperature, the presence of chemicals or other environmental factors, and the required voltage and current carrying capacity of the conductors. The cable should be sized appropriately for the load and should be installed in accordance with all applicable codes and standards. Also, remember to always energize the circuit before working with any electrical wiring. This is a critical safety precaution to prevent electric shock. Use appropriate personal protective equipment (PPE), such as safety glasses and gloves, to protect yourself from potential hazards. When cutting BX cable, use a cable cutter or a hacksaw with a fine-tooth blade. Be careful not to damage the insulation on the conductors. After cutting the cable, install an anti-short bushing, also known as a red head, over the cut end of the armor to protect the conductors from abrasion. When connecting BX cable to electrical boxes or equipment, use appropriate connectors designed for BX cable. These connectors provide a secure connection and ensure proper grounding. Tighten the connectors properly to prevent loose connections, which can cause overheating and electrical hazards. When running BX cable through walls or ceilings, use cable staples or straps to support the cable. Avoid over-tightening the staples or straps, as this can damage the cable jacket. Maintain proper spacing between the staples or straps to provide adequate support. Be careful not to run BX cable in areas where it could be subject to physical damage, such as near moving equipment or in areas where it could be stepped on. If it is necessary to run cable in such areas, protect the cable with conduit or other suitable means. When working with electrical wiring, always double-check your work to ensure that all connections are tight and that all components are properly installed. A thorough inspection can help to identify potential problems and prevent future electrical hazards. If you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to safely and effectively install and maintain electrical systems. Remember, electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Always follow safe work practices and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. When working with electrical wiring, it is important to understand the different types of conductors that are used in BX cable. Common conductor materials include copper and aluminum. Copper is a better conductor of electricity than aluminum, but it is also more expensive. Aluminum conductors are often used in larger sizes to save on cost. The size of the conductors in BX cable is determined by the ampacity requirements of the circuit. Ampacity is the maximum amount of current that a conductor can safely carry without overheating. The NEC provides tables that specify the ampacity of different conductor sizes based on the type of insulation, the ambient temperature, and other factors. When selecting BX cable, it is important to choose a cable with conductors that are sized appropriately for the load. Using undersized conductors can cause overheating, which can lead to insulation damage, electrical fires, and other hazards. It is also important to consider the voltage drop in the circuit. Voltage drop is the decrease in voltage that occurs along the length of a conductor due to its resistance. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to operate inefficiently or to fail altogether. The NEC provides guidelines for limiting voltage drop in branch circuits and feeders. When installing BX cable, it is important to maintain proper grounding. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and to energize the circuit in the event of a fault. BX cable typically includes a bare copper grounding conductor that is used to connect the metal armor to ground. The grounding conductor should be connected to a grounding electrode system, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. It is also important to ensure that all metal electrical boxes and equipment are properly grounded. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety and helps to protect against electric shock hazards. When working with electrical wiring, it is important to understand the different types of overcurrent protection devices that are used to protect circuits from overload and short circuits. Common overcurrent protection devices include circuit breakers and fuses. Circuit breakers are reusable devices that trip and interrupt the circuit when an overcurrent occurs. Fuses are one-time use devices that melt and interrupt the circuit when an overcurrent occurs. The size of the circuit breaker or fuse should be matched to the ampacity of the conductors in the circuit. Using an oversized overcurrent protection device can allow excessive current to flow, which can cause overheating and electrical fires. It is also important to choose an overcurrent protection device that is rated for the interrupting current of the circuit. Interrupting current is the maximum amount of current that the device can safely interrupt without failing. When installing BX cable, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for bending radius. Bending the cable too sharply can damage the insulation on the conductors and can reduce the ampacity of the cable. The manufacturer's instructions will specify the minimum bending radius for the cable. It is also important to avoid kinking the cable, as this can also damage the insulation. When running BX cable through metal studs or other metal framing members, use grommets or bushings to protect the cable from abrasion. Metal edges can be sharp and can damage the cable jacket and insulation over time. Grommets and bushings provide a smooth, rounded surface that prevents abrasion. It is also important to avoid running BX cable in areas where it could be exposed to moisture or corrosive substances. Moisture and corrosive substances can damage the cable jacket and insulation, which can lead to electrical failures. If it is necessary to run cable in such areas, protect the cable with conduit or other suitable means. Always remember to check the local codes and regulations, as they may have specific requirements for electrical installations in your area. Local codes and regulations are designed to protect the safety of building occupants and to prevent electrical hazards. It is important to comply with all applicable codes and regulations when installing electrical wiring. The importance of regular electrical inspections cannot be overstated. Regular electrical inspections can help to identify potential problems before they become serious hazards. A qualified electrician can perform a thorough inspection of your electrical system and can recommend any necessary repairs or upgrades. Electrical inspections are especially important in older buildings where the electrical system may be outdated or may not meet current safety standards. Staying informed about new technologies and best practices in electrical safety is crucial. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and best practices being developed all the time. Staying informed about these changes can help you to improve the safety and efficiency of your electrical system. There are many resources available to help you stay informed, such as trade publications, industry conferences, and online training courses. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following safe work practices, complying with codes and regulations, and staying informed about new technologies, you can help to prevent electrical hazards and protect yourself and others from electric shock and fire. When dealing with electrical systems, always err on the side of caution. If you are unsure about anything, consult with a qualified electrician. Never take risks when it comes to electrical safety. The potential consequences of an electrical accident can be severe, including serious injury, death, and property damage. It is always better to be safe than sorry. In summary, Plenum-rated BX cable is a critical component for safe electrical installations in air handling spaces. Its specialized jacket minimizes smoke and flame spread, ensuring compliance with building codes and protecting occupants. Proper selection, installation, and maintenance are essential for maximizing its effectiveness and ensuring electrical safety.